Okay, here are the notes video for parallel lines and triangle. So the parallel postulate, which is 3-2, is through a point not on a line, there is one and only one line parallel to the given line. So what you guys want to write down on your notes is this part here that goes in the box. There is exactly one line through P that is parallel to L. And if any time you need to stop and pause, go ahead, because I'm going to move through this pretty quick here. The triangle angle sum theorem, which is 3-11, is the sum of the measures of the angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. And you guys can write down this part here. The measure of angle A plus the measure of angle B plus the measure of angle C equals 180 degrees. So now that we know that a triangle equals 180 degrees, we can go ahead and find missing angles by just subtraction or addition. So for number 9, we're just going to add 117 and 33 together and subtract it from 180. So the measure of angle 1 would be 30. You're going to do the same thing for 10 and 11. So I would pause the video and go ahead and try those two on your own. Once you're done, play the video and get your answers. So for number 10, here is your work for that. 44.7 plus 52.2 equals 96.9, and 180 minus 96.9 is 83.1. For number 11, 33 plus 57 is 90, and 180 minus 90 would also be 90 degrees. For number 12, 13, and 14, we are finding the value of each variable. So obviously we have a few variables in each question here. So for number 12, we have 2 triangles and 1. And if you look at this, we can work with that triangle separate from this triangle. So 30 plus 80 would be 110, and then I'm going to do 180 minus 110 to get 70, which is what x would equal. Then I need to find, my next one that I would find would be my y. So I know that this whole thing is 180 here. And I know that x is 70, so I could do 180 minus 70 and get y, which would be 110 degrees. Now, for the green triangle, I know that this is 40, this is 110 degrees, and then I need to find z. So 40 plus 110 is 150, and 180 minus 150 is 30 degrees, which is what z equals. For number 13, we're going to do kind of the same thing. So we know that 70 plus 30 plus x has to equal 180. So 70 plus 30, I'm just going to do some mental math, is 100. I know that I need to do 180 minus 100 to get my x, which is 80 degrees. Now, the y is a vertical angle, which means that these two are congruent to each other. So if x is 80, y also has to be 80. 14 is a little bit tricky here, so I have 2 parallel lines that is shown by those arrows there, and then I have this line here that goes down, but I also have this transversal here, okay? So that being said, if I'm going to go erase this line. So I know that this here, has to be 90 degrees. Okay, and that is because this and this are corresponding angles. Okay, so I'm going to leave that and erase all of this, and I'm going to write in a 90-degree angle here. Maybe with a different color because you can't really see that one. Okay, so then back to our parallel lines here. So now we're going to work with this one as a transversal. Okay. So I know that from here to here is 120 because this is 90, this is 30. So that whole thing there would be 120 degrees, which means that from this parallel line to the transversal, that is 120 degrees. Now it's kind of hard to tell, but you can see that from here to here is 180, right? And we are missing this value here, which is our C. So if I know that this one piece of it is 120, the other piece has to be 60. So 180 minus 120 is 60, which is what our C would be. Okay, so the exterior angle is an angle formed by a side of the polygon and the extension of the adjacent side. So if you need a second there to write that down, go ahead. The adjacent side, remember, an adjacent angle, they share a vertex and they share a side if they are adjacent angles. Remote interior angles are the angles in a polygon that are non-adjacent to the exterior angle. So remote interior angles have nothing to do with the exterior angles, and we'll see that in a second here. So if you need some more time, go ahead and pause it and then write down your definitions. In each triangle below, angle 1 is an exterior angle. It is outside of the triangle. And angle 2 and angle 3 are remote interior angles. So if you notice, the exterior angle is across from the remote interior angles. So it's not next to them, it is across from. And again, if you need to pause it, go ahead. Theorem 3-12 is the triangle exterior angle theorem, which means the measure of each exterior angle is equal to the sum of the two remote interior angles. So basically speaking, the measure of angle 1 is equal to the measure of angle 2 plus the measure of angle 3. So getting back to proofs here, again, this one should just be angle 2. It shouldn't have it should not have a value there for right now. It will just say angle 2 on your notes. So you can do this in a couple different ways, but the way that we can prove that my exterior angle adds up to the two remote interior angles is this. So I know that 79 plus 1 has to equal 180. So the measure of angle 1 would be 180 minus 79. So the measure of angle 1 is equal to 101 degrees. And I'm going to go ahead and write that here, 101 degrees. I know that a triangle equals 180 degrees. So I can figure out the measure of angle 2 by doing 180 minus 101 minus 42. Measure of angle 2 equals, and that would be 37 degrees, which was there. Okay, so now I need to prove that this is the sum of these two here, which if I add 42 plus 37 together, I end up getting 79, and I'm just going to put a check mark there because that does prove that my two remote interior angles do add up to the exterior angle. Okay, so then using the theorem that we just learned, we can figure out the missing angle measures. So angle 1 is my exterior angle, so that means it should be 60 plus 63 to get my answer there, because my angle 1 is the exterior angle, and my remote interior angles should add up to that exterior angle. So the measure of angle 1 is 123 degrees. 18 is a little bit different because they give us the exterior angle, but they do not give us the second remote interior. So we need to do a little bit of subtraction here to do 128.5 minus 13. And that gives us 115.5 degrees. So again, it's just going to be addition or subtraction. There's not going to be any multiplication, anything like that, unless we're doing x's, which possibly could happen next. So number 19, it doesn't matter which one you start with, whether you're solving for 3 or 4, but I know that 3 is going to equal 45 plus 47 because of that, that interior or exterior angles theorem there. Not exterior angles, the triangle exterior angle theorem. So the measure of angle 3 would be 92 degrees. And then I know that either this whole thing equals 180, or I can say 3 plus 4 is 180. So I'm just going to do it that way, and I'm going to do measure of angle 4 equals 180 minus 92. Obviously, if you want to do it the other way and add up 45 plus 47 and then subtract it from 180, that's fine too, but this will save you a little bit of time. So the measure of angle 4 is 88, and the measure of angle 3 is 92. Now going on to my x's here, I know, now we set these up nice for you, this is going to equal this plus this. This is going to equal this plus this. So you can easily set this up as an equation and solve for x. So 3x plus 17, sorry guys, my phone is blowing up, not sure why. 3x plus 17 plus 4x plus 6 equals 100. And then I would solve for x. So 3x plus 4x is 7x. 17 plus 6 is 23. And you set it equal to 100. Subtract 23 from both sides, you would get 7x equals 77. And then you would divide both sides by, You would divide both sides by 7, which gives you x equals 11. It doesn't say anything except solve for x, so you just need to get x equals 11. If it said solve for x, then find the given angle measures. You would need to plug x back into your given angle measures. So then for number 2, you're going to do the same thing. 18x minus 4 plus 15x minus plus 2 equals 130. And then combine like terms. So 18x and 15x is 33x. Negative 4 and 2 would be negative 2. And then add 2 to both sides. So you get 33x equals 132. And then divide by 33. And you get x equals 4. So that is it for the 3.5 notes. There is a homework page for Wednesday, so I pass it out in class to the majority of you. And if you need help with that, just let me know, but that will be due on Wednesday and you can post it to Canvas. Have a great day, guys.